The ocean has always drawn us in, vast, mysterious, and full of life. Scuba diving provides a glimpse into this world, where each dive brings a unique blend of calm and energy, connecting us to nature's rhythm. Underwater, life flows with purpose. Fish move in schools, and marine plants sway gently, creating a vibrant ecosystem. It's a world full of motion and complexity. But beneath this beauty lies a force, a challenge that tests even the most experienced divers. The surge, constant and unpredictable, turns the ocean into an ever-changing challenge. And when combined with the intricate structure of a wreck like the River Gurara, it demands both skill and respect. This journey delves into the challenges of diving in surge conditions within a wreck, a narrative of discovery, skill, and the quest to move in harmony with the ocean's power and history. To understand the true power of the ocean, we need to look beneath the surface. What seems like a calm day above the water can hide an entirely different world below, where the ocean moves in rhythm with the tides, driven by forces far beyond what we can see. The relentless back-and-forth movement of water is a result of wind, tides, and waves, creating powerful underwater currents. These movements are strongest in shallow waters, where waves press against the shoreline, and the energy is funneled through narrow passages and rocky outcrops. Unlike currents that flow in a single direction, surge is rhythmic, unpredictable, and can change in an instant. It pulls divers one way, then pushes them another, often catching even experienced scuba enthusiasts off guard. It's this ever-changing nature that makes surge such a challenge.
Surge is essentially the underwater reflection of wave action. When waves approach the shore, their energy doesn't just dissipate on the surface, it travels downward, interacting with the ocean floor and creating a horizontal movement. This motion affects everything in its path, from the smallest fish to the largest structures beneath the waves.
In areas where surge is strongest, it can create stunning yet hazardous environments. Divers must learn to move with the water rather than fight against it. Failing to understand surge can lead to disorientation and, in extreme cases, danger.
Marine life has adapted to this environment in incredible ways, from kelp swaying in perfect rhythm to fish darting in and out of rock crevices. The ecosystem thrives in the movement. Studying surge gives us a deeper understanding of how these creatures have evolved to survive and even flourish in what might seem like chaos to us.
Diving in surge conditions demands more than just skill. It requires preparation, awareness, and a deep understanding of the ocean's power. When surge meets the complex underwater environment of a wreck dive, the challenge becomes even greater.
Diving in surge is one thing, but when you add a wreck to the mix, it's a whole new level of complexity. You know, wrecks can be disorientating with tight spaces and sharp edges, so we focus on preparation and technique. It's about staying calm and moving with the water and being aware of your surroundings.
Before even entering the ocean, divers undergo rigorous training. Mastering buoyancy control is essential, especially around wrecks, where the surge can pull and push you unpredictably. In these conditions, even a small mistake can send you into a sharp piece of metal or into a confined space. The gear setup is crucial. In surge conditions, every piece of equipment must be double-checked. Divers must ensure their weight is perfectly balanced and their lines, lights, and gauges are secure. In a wreck, there's no room for loose gear to snag or cause problems. Shipwrecks, like those found off Portugal's coastline, become more than just points of interest in surge conditions. They turn into dynamic, living structures. The wreck interacts with the surge, creating eddies and unpredictable currents. Divers must be ready to adapt, using both the wreck's shelter and the open water to navigate safely.
Stick close to the structure, but avoid contact. Surge can pull you into tight spaces, so always know where your exit points are. If you're inside the wreck, stay mindful of overhead environments and use the walls as guides without gripping anything unless necessary.
Penetrating a wreck during a surge requires advanced skill. The water inside moves differently, creating a sense of disorientation. Divers are trained to maintain constant awareness of their surroundings, ensuring they don't get swept into tight spaces or lose their bearings. Navigation is key. In the tight quarters of a wreck, the surge can easily turn a smooth dive into a risky situation. Divers are trained to move slowly and deliberately, using their hands only when necessary to stabilize against the wreck, without damaging the fragile environment or themselves. In surge conditions, clear communication and strong teamwork are essential. The buddy system becomes even more important during a wreck dive, ensuring that divers stay in close contact and can assist one another if conditions change unexpectedly. As divers exit the wreck, they must be prepared for the change in current. The surge outside the wreck can feel much stronger, so timing and positioning are crucial. Divers are trained to assess conditions before they leave the shelter of the wreck, moving only when it's safe to do so. Through training and experience, divers learn to work with the surge, not against it. The wreck becomes both a challenge and a sanctuary, offering moments of stillness amidst the motion of the water. In surge diving, patience and preparation are everything. Every dive tells a story, but when the surge is strong and a wreck like the River Gurara lies beneath, those stories are carved from experience, skill, and sometimes close calls.
You know, I'll never forget that dive. The surge was stronger than I expected. It came out of nowhere. One minute I was gliding along, and the next I was pushed sideways straight into a steel wall. Oh boy, it was a wake-up call. You realize very quickly how little control you actually have down there.
Divers who venture here, in these conditions, don't just explore the history of a sunken ship, they explore their own limits and resourcefulness.
One of the most incredible moments of my diving experience happened in surge. I was holding onto a rock, watching a school of beautiful fish. The surge was pulling me back and forth, but the fish, they were gliding through it like it was nothing. It felt like I was in the middle of a dance, totally at the mercy of the ocean, but witnessing something absolutely magical.
For those who find the rhythm, the surge unfolds like a dance, where nature's power meets breathtaking beauty. Marine life moves as if choreographed, and those who blend with the current glimpse rare moments of grace. Yet behind that splendor lies a sharper edge, reminding every diver that vigilance remains essential.
There was one dive where things got dicey. I was inside the River Gurara and the surge pushed me away too close to a narrow passageway. I had to react fast to avoid getting stuck. It was a close call and it made me realize how quickly things can change. You have to stay sharp and respect the wreck, especially in surge.
The wreck magnifies the challenge of shifting currents, and this can spark a quiet uncertainty that reminds us this is not our natural environment. Yet even then, we're drawn by the allure of this alien realm.
Every time I dive in surge, there's that moment of doubt when I wonder, am I in over my head? But once you're in it, once you find your rhythm with the water, it's like nothing else. The surge keeps you on your toes, and that's part of the thrill.
Along Portugal's coast, we are witnessing the direct impact of these environmental changes. Expanding marine protected areas and reducing overfishing are essential to maintaining the health of these ecosystems that depend on the surge. Without the surge, these coastal ecosystems wouldn't be as rich. It drives the flow of nutrients, supporting everything from tiny invertebrates to large predators.
These coastal habitats are essential to marine life, and by acknowledging their importance and becoming ambassadors for their protection, from our daily choices to active advocacy, each of us can help safeguard these environments, ensuring that future generations experience their intricate diversity. Diving in a wreck affected by surge is not for the unprepared. It requires the right training, experience, and a clear understanding of one's own limits. In these conditions, even small misjudgments can lead to significant risks, not just for oneself, but for the entire team. The most important rule is simple: safety above all. If a diver feels uncomfortable or conditions appear beyond their skill level, it's better to abort the dive. No experience is worth risking injury or worse. With proper planning, honest self-assessment, and a commitment to safety, the rewards of such a dive can be profound. Exploring a wreck like the River Gurara under the influence of surge offers a unique perspective, a chance to witness the interplay of natural forces and history, and to experience the dive site in an extraordinary way. Every dive is a journey, but in conditions like these, preparation and respect for the environment ensure the journey is one of growth and discovery. The ocean's challenges are as vast as its rewards, and for those who dive responsibly, it offers experiences that remain with them long after they've surfaced.